Good morning. Wasn't this the gospel from Monday or something like it? No, it was the woman who was crippled and he healed her on the Sabbath. There's a theme there. Healing on the Sabbath, because the Sabbath is the day of the resurrection in which Jesus heals us and restores humanity. But today is the feast day of St. Martin de Porres, who was a Dominican friar in Lima, Peru. He was the illegitimate son of a Spanish nobleman and a freed African slave woman. And so therefore he was rejected by society, and even to the point that the laws in Peru forbade him from becoming a full member of a religious order. So after much time in prayer, he was very dedicated to prayer. He was accepted as a lay brother into the order of preachers, where he dedicated himself to little tasks. Before he was a friar, though, his father abandoned him and also his sister, and they sent him off to be an apprentice under a barber/surgeon, because back in the day, right, sharp tools, they all go together. So if you can be a barber, you can be a surgeon. I think dentists, too, were at one point lumped in there because it's all just kind of barbaric stuff. And so he had a little bit of medical experience, and so he was known for healing during his time with the Dominicans. And there was a plague that came through, in fact, and made many of the brothers take ill, and he was there to care for them and perform many miracles of healing. He was known for levitating and bilocating because he was such a holy man. But he's an example to us of the simplicity of a life of holiness, right? He had a deep devotion to the Eucharist. He was known to spend hours in the chapel praying, so much so that one time while he was praying, the chapel caught on fire and he didn't even notice because he was so deep in ecstasy in prayer. But recognizing that from that prayer, right, from coming to know and love God, right, we're impelled to serve God. And we can serve God in many different ways, but those little ways especially, of healing, of bringing mercy, being agents of mercy. It's so important for us to be the ones willing to offer forgiveness, the ones willing to be those agents of God, as St. Teresa of Avila says, to be the hands and feet of Jesus, to be able to go out into the world and to make Christ present. St. Martin de Porres made Christ present to people for whom nobody else would have done it. In fact, there was one final account where there was a man that came in so sick, covered in ulcers and sores and all sorts of nastiness, and they wouldn't let him in the infirmary, and so St. Martin took him and put him in his own bed. One of the other brothers scolded him for doing so, and he said, mercy comes before cleanliness. Now that doesn't mean, skip taking a shower before you come to confession, because that's gross. But it does mean that focusing on what we can do to make God manifest is the most important thing that we can do in our lives. Making God's mercy manifest in the world so that others may see him, others may come to know him and love him as well, and so that they may have that radical transformation take place in their own hearts. And so on this day, let us ask for the intercession of St. Martin de Porres, that he may continue to inspire in us a sense of charity and mercy, and that the Holy Spirit may overpower us and overshadow us so that we may be agents of mercy in the world.